Hello everyone, Rear Model Reviews here. And we have, which is, geez, this actually might be the final unboxing I do for a while. I don't think I have anything else in the queue, or rather on order after this one. Well, no, I technically do, but I'm going to do that in a unboxing slash review. And I can already spoil that it's not a, whatchamacallit, a model kit. They are figures. I say they because there's actually another thing that is unrelated to what I'm talking about, but you know what I'm talking about when you see it. Um, there's more than one thing. That's how I'll tell you guys. That's different from what you may eventually see soon after this. But anywho, let me stop yapping and get into it. So both of these, no, this is USA Gundam Store. The one below it is P Bandai. So you got a decent peek. I get a feeling you know what it is. So I guess we'll let this thing reveal itself. So yes, we have the high grade Nemo. So originally, I wasn't going to get this high grade. I was going to get the master grade of the Nemo instead, but I may or may not be tempted to order a master grade version of the Nemo, which is in a different color scheme. So that's why I decided to go ahead and get just the high grade, because one, I love the Nemo, and I've wanted this thing since I first started reviewing, because I really love Zeta Gundam. But this thing actually came back in stock recently. I didn't realize it was out of stock. Nemo is never out of stock. I think it's a pretty popular kit. But I decided to go ahead and snatch this thing up. It's a nice little high grade. Who knows? Maybe I might feel bored one day. Just to just bang out a high grade just to help fight back against my monstrous back along that after review from another model, I'm not gonna lie, I feel kind of a little ashamed of. But yeah, this thing came out way back in 2013. Wow, I actually thought this thing was a little well, this might be a version of it or whatever, a revised version, because I feel like this thing was a lot older than 2013. But regardless, it's got decent bit of articulation. You can see there that hip swivel. It looks like, ooh, if I didn't know any better, I said that this has a gimmick for the shoulder. You can move the shoulder out a little. So maybe this Nemo might be a little bit more impressive than I thought. 150th, so yeah. It ought to be special with a number like that. But before we go ahead and look inside of it, this was packed by Chris. I love this little seal he has here. It looks like it's supposed to be a Capsule Corporation thing from Dragon Ball, so that's pretty cool. So we, of course, have the little manifest of what they have going on there. The MGSD Destiny gun, which I just seen a review of from Zaku. You have the Ulcer's Dominator, which is a very popular yet controversial master grade. Then we have the Black Trojan, another controversial one, mainly because it's a stolen design. Have one of those Megumi device things, which I hear actually a lot of good stuff about. So who knows? Maybe one day I might just get bored and check one out. But that'll probably be after I get through my backlog. I'm trying to cut back and not buy anything to conquer this thing. Then of course we have Metal Gear Rex, which a lot of this stuff I've showed off so many times. I don't know why I even bothered doing it again, but this ought to be a shorter unboxing, so bear with me. But also want to mention, I don't think I mentioned, I have a sticker here. This is my second one, so I'll probably end up putting this guy right around here in the corner. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So we of course have the hands runners. One thing I said I definitely loved about the earlier high grades, they always gave you 2 of each hand, whereas the newer stuff, they'll give you one trigger finger hand and then an outstretched hand, call it a day. And it's what if you want to put it in the left hand? Sometimes I might come with a beam rifle and bazooka that still only give you 1 holding hand. That really grinds my gears there. Whoa, a lot more stickers I expected for this thing. So definitely a lot of color correction going on with this. So just that strange colored green that a lot of the Zeta Gundams love to use. And I'm not gonna lie, not know the Nemo had a green in beam sabers. I swore they were pink. I kind of like that they're green just because it's interesting. Everything's pink, but I'm almost positive these things are green. I'm almost positive Nemo's beam saber is supposed to be pink. I know I had to have seen the Nemo swing a beam saber in the show. Now I want to go look at the show again and see. I do not believe that Nemo's beam sabers are green. But anywho, geez, let's go ahead and throw this back in the box real quick. There we go. Took 2 seconds. Let me Get that out the way. There. So now let's go look at the manual. So the Nemo is standard size suit, only at 18 meters. Ain't no way a grunt suit is made out of Gundarium. No way. Wow. So they must not have too many grunts in the AU if their mass-produced mobile suit is made out of Gundarium. That is impossible. That's got to be wrong. Maybe I'm thinking Gundanium. That's the actual high strength stuff the Gundams are made of. But anyway, all right then. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else much to say anymore after that. Wow. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of pause a little bit so you guys can look at this stuff. Imagine it's just totally the background of the Nemo and all the specs and whatnot. Just your mass-produced mobile suit for the AU replaced a lot of the Gem 2s they had in their fleet. Of course, were just stolen Titan mobile suits. This doesn't seem right. I know for a fact the Nemo had to have came out before the Gem 3. This has to be like some sort of revised version, because I know around 2013 or whatever, they started doing revised stuff, especially from like Zeta Gundam. But I don't know. If anyone's a bit more of an expert at high grades than I am, feel free to chime in whether this is the original Nemo and it just seriously did take them this long to finally do a high grade of it or what. Because I know when it did the Zeta Gundam, a new translation, which I don't believe came out in 2013. I know for a fact that came out way before then. They did damn near everything from Zeta Gundam. It was easy to say what they didn't do. But it looks like it's older. Just look at the construction inside. It's got like an older setup, but at the same time, it's got a decent amount of like posability. Like this thing's got a posability that actually kind of dunks on a lot of the stuff that came out in Unicorn. Like for example, the Stark Jagan, the high grade Stark Jagan's articulation is awful. It's a pretty solid kit, but that thing could barely move. Damn near a brick, but that's one down. So we got one more to go, and I intend on getting it done in 7 minutes or less. So this is going to be, again, a premium Bandai kit, and that particular kit is for what's arguably the best real grade in the entire line, and that is going to be the Crossbone Gundam. So I opted for getting the X2 version of it, just because I eventually will get the, I'll end up getting the Crossbone, probably a full cloth, the mass grade of that one, because that thing's pretty cool. It's basically a Verkoth that. So I really like the X2, mainly because the color scheme, but I also love the fact that it has the shot lancer. That is, of course, due to the pilot being Zabine, former lieutenant of the Crossbone Vanguard. So this thing came out in 2019. It's a bit of an older kit, but I heard a lot of people glazing the Crossbone real grade, saying it's the best in the line. So I had to see that for myself. I love the Crossbone. Crossbone is a pretty cool design. Then again, I'm biased. I'm a huge fan of the F91. That is definitely top 5 Gundams for me. I say top 5 because there's so many cool designs. It's hard for me to just flat out say it's my favorite, but again, it's definitely up there. So we have the cloak made out of plastics, not cloth, as a lot of people say that the cloth was a little crappy, whereas the plastic looks more detailed and what have you. We have the shield there, and that square formula, the beam sword, or what was it, the beam Zamber, I believe it's called. We have 2 beam sabers. I can't tell if this is a little bent or what, but these things look a little curved. So whether that's supposed to be curved or not, it looks cool. So I'm not going to bend those back. The beam effect parts for, I think these are for the feet. If I'm not mistaken, the feet have blades in them, and then these are for the beam brands, which is the little knuckle duster type things that this thing has. And we have all kinds of yellow parts here in the back, some grays here. That's one thing I love about the Crossbone. It's got some very interesting weapons. It's a bit of purple there too, because again, with this being Zabine's Crossbone, they gave it a bit of a Crossbone color scheme. You have little Zabine figures. That's actually pretty cool. Usually for a lot of P Bandai stuff, they don't give it unique pilot figures. They just reuse the stuff in the normal version of it. So kudos to Bandai for going the extra mile there. Got that dark, I don't even know what to call it. It's like the same color that the Titans use, like that purplish bluish color. Got a decent bit of whatchamacallits, water slide decals, namely for the Crossbone logo there, or I guess you could call it Crossbone Vanguard, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure they call themselves the Crossbone Vanguard, and well, Crossbone. But we got the little chain there for the waist, I believe it is. It's like the waist that shoot the chain out, and you can't tell. I'm pretty sure there's two of the same runners in here. I'm pretty sure it has chains for both waists, not just one. I know for a fact that Gundam itself does, but one cool thing about the Crossbone is this thing was made by, if I'm not mistaken, Seabook's mom. I don't remember her being in the manga itself. She was just like a quick appearance, but she was the one who created the Crossbones or whatever. And of course, she worked on the Formula project. So before the F91, there was the F90, which had this alphabet of mission packs. And one of them was, I believe, the K packs. The Crossbone uses a lot of stuff from the K packs, which I thought was pretty cool because the K packs was like my favorite one. So that's one thing I really enjoyed about the F91 and the Crossbone. Both of them basically kind of picked and choose a lot of the aspects from those mission packs and put them into more of a finished product, whereas a lot of the mission packs had a lot of weird wonky concepts and just like they looked unrefined. So this thing doesn't use too many leftover parts. Most of them are going to be for the D runner here, so I'm not sure what they left out on. I'm going to assume there's a few things that the X2 didn't use. Like, I'm not sure if this thing has a beam rifle. I think it just uses the shot lance here for its ranged weapon. We, of course, have the little gimmicks here for the, this looks like this is for the core fighter. I'm not sure what's going on here. Oh, okay, this is to make the little windmill things, yeah, because they're saying to make 4 of them. But straight off the bat here, this thing has a very unique construction because the core fighter on the Crossbone is very interesting. That's the one unique thing about the Crossbone itself, the core fighter. Although there are plenty other suits in the F90 line, which again was his predecessor that had core fighters. None of them look like the Crossbones. That X-shaped backpack is very cool and unique there. So I'm not sure if this thing uses the whatchamacallit, the Advanced MS inner frame for the Crossbone, because the Crossbone is a tiny mobile suit. In fact, I don't even think this thing is technically 1:144 scale. I think it's a little bit bigger or whatever, just because of the fact that a lot of the miniature mobile suits that you see in the late UCs and a lot of the earlier alternate history stuff, they're like super small, so those don't translate very well into high grade. They translate just fine in 1:100, but in high grade, you couldn't do them accurately because those things would be so small, you know. It'd be a little hard to put that much detail into something so skinny and small, you know. So they usually scale them up a little bit. They still look small compared to a normal size mobile suit, but they're not gonna look as small as it should be if you were to like accurately put them into again that scale. Oh yeah, that's right. This cloak is like an anti-beam spray thing, so it's technically like a shield, even though it has a shield. That's one thing I noticed a lot of suits that have beam shields. They always have like some redundancy for shielding anyway. So of course to put the cloak on, you gotta take the head off. That's unavoidable. Maybe if it was actual cloth, you'd be able to fit it on without removing the head, but regardless, you get onto the weapons here. So okay, now it still does have a beam gun. It has the beam Zamber, yeah, so you can still combine them and all that, turn them into the I forget what the heck it's called. I'm sure that's like the Zambuster. Yes, that's what it's called. You combine them. Yep. So I'm not sure what this thing has that the normal Crossbone doesn't, but regardless, this thing's very cool. And I'm not gonna lie, I may have to cheat and put this thing at the top of my list of stuff to build. If you looked at my last unboxing I did a few days ago, there were a few things that said I'm putting them to the top of my list, but yeah, this is definitely going to be right after those kits. I may squeeze one more in before this one though, because I've seen some interest in one of my previous unboxings, so I kind of wanted to appease that guy and give him kit he wanted to see. Who knows? Maybe you guys might want to see that too. But oh, this figure looks so cool, Sabina. But I also want to kind of, as a side mention, I really like the pilot suits they had, like the F90 series. But yeah, that's just about it for this guy here. You of course have a color image of all the decals you put on this thing, whatnot. I'm guessing this thing only has water slide decals. I don't remember seeing any sticker style decals, which she's not thinking about, because this thing has red eyes. I don't remember seeing anything for the red eyes. So we'll get into how they pulled off this awesome effect of the red eyes later. Very cool color shot of the head, by the way. Too bad there isn't one of a body. I really love to see a professional artwork or whatever of the kit itself. Although, I mean, basically the same colors, monochromatic paint job here, but still. That's going to do it here for you guys. So around 50 minutes, decent enough. Thank you guys all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, you know what to do. And stay tuned for the eventual review of this guy. And you never know when I might just rather decide to build this guy. Yeah, thanks for watching. Again, I'll see you next video, unboxing or review.